All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the first official episode of When Coffee Meets Tea. I'm Rob Gerard.
I'm Denise Bertolovitz.
Denise, man, this is pretty cool. I'm glad that we finally were able to launch this. We've talked about it, and now it's here. We're doing it.
I have to pinch myself. I'm like, is it really happening? Is it really real? You guys missed, like, right before we went on the air, I went ba-ba-ba-boo, ba-boo.
So yeah, we are here, and I just want to say, again, we're super excited to be here, and I know my mission for this, right, is I truly, if I could do something, I want to empower everyone, but I'm going to speak specifically to men, and I know that you're going to want your message to go to everyone, but you're going to be speaking to women too, right? So
Absolutely.
I want to try to empower men to really get in touch with their inner selves. Like, a man who's in touch with his feelings and his thoughts, to me, that's a dangerous man.
That is a sexy man. That's all I can say. And I am so glad that you brought that up, because there are so many men out there that want to do that, but they just feel often embarrassed or not sure where to go. I think the resources are more geared toward women. And I just think that we need to be more open about that from equality. It's an equal world out there in many levels, and that opportunity for wellness, both physically and mentally, is there for both men and women.
Yeah.
So the fact
Agreed.
that you and I both want to empower that is phenomenal. And yes, I do. I really do feel that. I mean, as a single woman, I am very particular about who I want to be with, and I want them to have a sense of self and understanding emotions and their feelings.
Yeah.
And, not just for me. In a relationship goes both ways. So they should understand their feelings. I should understand mine. We're all accountable for our own selves and our own wellness.
Yeah. And I love the idea, and I know we're not going to be talking about couples on this episode or anything like that, but when you talk about men and women, right, I don't think that we need to be treated equal. And don't get me wrong, I do, as far as like equality, responsibility, privilege, all that kind of stuff. But what I'm saying is, we have, as men, I can speak for myself, I have my own set of unique needs, skills, and strengths, just as women do. And I think they should both be really, kind of like acknowledged and big upped.
I'm glad that you said that and you made that clear to the listeners, because I know you very well. I knew exactly where you were going with that. And I'm glad you clarified your sense of equality, I should say, your definition of equality. And I agree with you. I think men and women, I'm right on the same page with you in that. There's that sense of equality, and then there's, relating. Let's look at it that way, right?
Yeah.
From a relatability perspective of, yes, we're equal in terms of career and there's opportunities out there, but when it comes to relating, I hope our listeners understand that I am going to gear more toward women because I am a woman.
Yeah.
And I relate to that. And I've had experiences that are most likely to be what women have. And, and that's the same. I can't speak for you, Rob, but, tell me what you think in terms of that.
Listen, when it comes to you, talking about women and empowering women, I'm surprised, not surprised, but I'm like blown away by how many women actually contact you and reach out to you and talk about how much you empower them. I get a little jealous. I'm like, I don't have guys calling me, hitting me up, being like, "Yo, bro, you really empowered me," But you have these women that reach out to you, and to me, it's like, wow, it's something's working. Whatever it is that you're doing, Denise, does seem like it's working. And I know you're a work in progress, and you'll be the first to admit that. But it's amazing though how like, of a, I guess, fresh perspective. You're a young spirit, I don't know what it is. I don't know how I'd really put you into words, but yeah.
I obviously, cheers to women supporting women. And, what makes me feel so good about women reaching out to me is that they say, you make me feel so good. Boy, I was having a bad day and I read what you wrote, or I listened to what you said, and thank you so much for that. But in my heart, I think, wow, no, thank you so much for that, because that is my opportunity to take that and know that, okay, I'm doing the right thing and I am living my purpose. And that's what we're here for. We want others to feel the same. And, you and I were actually talking about that earlier, where in life we can sometimes get a little bit sidetracked, right?
Yep.
And we can go different ways. But at the end of the day, life can take our power away. And I don't know if I really believe in that saying of power, but there's such a truth to that. Life can take our spirit away, our happiness, our power, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when you really take the time to heal and focus on wellness, it's never going to take your purpose away. We all have a talent, and we're all meant to be here for some reason. So the dark times don't last forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we just have to understand how to pull ourselves out of that. And that's a big reason why we're here. We have a huge, huge passion to help others and help others understand that the rainbow always comes after the rain. And what can we do during that time to understand that the storm doesn't sink us, it actually makes us stronger.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, very well said. Very well said. And I'm going to give a shameless plug while bringing something to your attention. You should probably move the mic a little bit that way, because you're probably blocking your face from seeing the cameras. And I say that in a shameless plug way to say, listen, we're on YouTube. So I don't know if you're watching us on YouTube or if you're watching us on our website or how you're watching us, but we're on Spotify, iTunes, all those places. And hopefully, no matter how you found us, hopefully you did find us. And hopefully, you can get something, I guess, out of what it is we're saying. So even though this is our first episode, right? Even though this is our official first episode, we did an intro episode, just to kind of kick things off. We did a quick intro, like 12, 13-minute episode. And, to me, it was incredible, the feedback that we got from listeners, and the fact that we were actually able to gain new listeners by just throwing out kind of like an appetizer.
It was so fun. And you know what? I'm over here dying laughing because
Why is that?
I'm trying to hold my laughter in because he's like, you might want people to see your face. I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks.
Absolutely.
So we all know that Rob is not the only star of the show.
Exactly.
So he does believe in equal rights.
Definitely. Equality.
He does believe in equal rights. But yes, going back to the what do we call it? The teaser.
The teaser. Yep, exactly.
That was phenomenal. I mean, I got so much positive feedback on that. And just, if you get a chance, if you guys have not heard that, go back, because it talks a little bit about our mission, about what we want to accomplish. And I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. And the whole When Coffee Meets Tea thing, when we were coming up with the idea for the podcast, because Denise, you and I, we've worked together before, and on projects like similar to this, but we did some radio together, and it was a really cool experience. But I think it's safe to say that radio is slowly kind of been on the back burner when you look at internet radio, and really what internet is in terms of podcasts and whatnot. It's listening on demand. So if I'm driving in a car and I have a 30-minute drive, I don't need to listen to whatever DJ Skip is playing, on 81.3. I'm like, no, you know what? I know exactly what I want to listen to for these 30 minutes. I'm going to listen to a podcast. So when you and I linked up and communicated and said, listen, we need to do something together, I don't know what it is. The idea of doing the podcast was great, and we were tossing back and forth a ton of names.
Oh my gosh, you guys, if you saw the list, you would either cry or laugh, because we were just like, what about this? What about that? But it was really fun, I have to say.
And Denise comes up with the idea, and you get full credit for it, When Coffee Meets Tea. And as soon as I heard it, I said, well, that's a definite maybe for sure. And then I ran the list by my wife, and my wife goes, I like that, without even thinking. And to me, what that said was, okay, that's her gut reaction. And typically in life, I don't know about you, Denise, but my gut usually knows before my head does.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Whatever your
100%.
gut, It's like your gut is really like your lie detector test.
Yeah.
So go with what your gut tells you, not always your heart, not always your brain. I'll speak for myself because my heart can, bleeding heart syndrome. Sometimes I will do stupid things I regret because maybe I felt bad. And then my head, that's a scary place up there. You know what I mean? That's a scary place to be up there, especially by myself. Are you kidding me? So, I overthink things to the max. So typically, the right decision is usually what my gut is telling me.
Absolutely. From one overthinker to another, yes,
Yeah.
100% relate. And it's interesting because I will go back. Sometimes it's healthy to go back in time and think about certain experiences, and my gut at the time had said something different than I did. And I don't have, fortunately, a lot of regrets in life. I think we all have a few, but I think to myself, oh, yeah, I really should have paid attention to that a little more. And there's a lot to be said about that. And, the heart, I think, can take us to places that we jump in a little bit too quickly. And the head, that can create a lot of fears, and that can hold us back. So the instinct is definitely where it's at.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So when coffee meets tea, I think, something that we discussed was there's so many things that you can do with that really makes sense. When preparation meets opportunity, when fear meets faith, I mean, and not that we're a faith-based podcast or anything like that, but just as an example, there's just, and then we started really breaking down, okay, what are the similarities between Denise and I? What are the differences? And what are the similarities between tea and coffee? What are the differences? And then it was like, whoa, okay, now we're going somewhere.
When you say faith, here is where my interpretation is, and I just want to get a little thought from you. So we're not faith-based in terms of religious, and we're never going to sit here and talk about religion or politics.
Yeah.
However, we are going to talk about faith and hope in ourselves, in meaning not us, Rob and I, meaning showing you how that can empower you and improve your life. So when I personally think of faith, I feel that that's a belief in myself, a belief that I am capable of doing whatever it is that I need to do to move in the direction that is the most healthy and rewarding for my life. So faith to me is inner belief.
Yeah. And, I'm one of these people, right? I don't know if I'm just like, if I was born, it's weird. I'm like a mix between extremely motivated and kind of lazy, right? So I need things that will constantly keep me going and will constantly kind of keep me motivated, So I will take anything and kind of spin it in my head as a means to motivate me and get the best outcome possible. Does that make sense?
Oh, that completely makes sense. That's stimulating the mind, right? I love that. I'll have to give the plug for coffee, right? Sponsored by Candlewood Coffee. So
Definitely.
But right? I mean,
yeah.
we live this life that this is what life is meant to be lived. So when we are stimulated, right, when we are also known as empowered, also known as motivated, we are more likely to live a happier, healthier, better life. Why? Because we are taking responsibility. So stimulation is ownership. It's that push, that drive. So that's phenomenal. No, I love that. Like you need to be stimulated. You need to be living life. That's it, and what is it that does that? Everybody's different. Not everybody's the same. Everybody's motivation, everybody's choices, everything is different. I mean, that's what my dad always used to say, that's what makes the world go around. If we were all the same, it would be a very, very boring world. If everything stimulated us the same, then what's the point of having so many different choices in life?
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
And when we talk about choices, I always want to make sure that our listeners are clear that when we say, listen, live your life, it's your life, you do what you want to do, we're talking about as long as it's healthy, as long as you're not hurting others, as long as it's something that is going to make you, those around you, and the world a better place.
I love that you said that. I love that, and I love that you threw in that last part because you literally took my thoughts, and that was as long as it's not hurting anyone else. Because, yeah, you only live once. Yeah, you know, do what makes you happy, do what feels good, but not at the expense of someone else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of times people sadly do that, and it's not intentional, because what is that old saying, right? Monkey, we were talking about old sayings before. I won't make one up, I promise. Monkey see, monkey do.
Listen, Denise, I kid you not, okay,
Don't hit the nail on the
will
head.
make up these sayings, and she'll go, like my old dad used to say, and I'm like, and if you've ever seen that movie Maverick with Mel Gibson and James Garner, he always is like his dad is in the room and no one knows that's his dad, and he's like my pappy used to say, and then he'd come up with some random quote, and it was like, I never said that.
Don't hit the kettle on the collar in the cow. Don't tip the cow in the cornfield.
Listen, so Denise will just throw something out there and say, like the old saying, and then she'll just come up with something. But what's funny is I constantly do something similar. So I'm talking about whether if it's work emails, if it's on like social media, I'll put something in quotes, and then I'll put like dash unknown afterward, and it'll make no sense. It'll make no sense, and people see it and they're like, just reading it, and they're like it sounds like it could make sense, but I think it might just be going over my head. So they'll just like the comment, or they'll like, thanks for the quote, and I'm like, I just made that up.
See, they're making you feel better about yourself. It goes both ways. I love it.
And it's not hurting anyone. It's there's some people that are kind of in on the joke, but it's not hurting anyone. It's funny. And it's the way that I kind of catch my wreck. It's like I have a little bit of fun doing that. But so I want to talk about a couple things, right? And I want to just throw out there the idea of like, I know it's January, it's New Year's, it's New Year's resolutions and goals and stuff like that, but it doesn't matter what time of year it is. The importance of having goals, it cannot be discounted, because if you tell me this, right? If I say if I know I want to get out of here. I want to go south somewhere. I don't know where I want to go. I want to go. And if I say, I'm going to end up somewhere in Florida, but I end up somewhere in, I don't know, Georgia. Okay, well, at least I know I might change along the way and say, you know what, I think I do want to go to Georgia. Point being, if I don't have goals, then how do I know I'm moving in the right direction? I need to have a direction where I'm going. I need to have some kind of compass, some kind of roadmap. I can always change my goals along the way, but I need to have something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's, establishing goals is no different than establishing a bucket list, right? Look at it in the terms of your bucket list really never changes, right? At the end of the day, it's just going to keep getting added to, because you're going to keep adding to that. And as you do those or get to see those sites, whatever that may be, you cross them off. Whereas a goal is an opportunity to continuously self-improve. So each year, every 6 months, every quarter, depends how people approach that and what it is they want to do, is an opportunity to change direction, to reset your goals, to reset your priorities. And the most important thing behind that list is your focus, right? Because what is the saying? Where your focus is the direction your life is going to go. So if in the beginning of 2021, which is just beginning, my set of goals is, XYZ, then I want to make sure my focus is on that. Okay. If my goal is health, what am I doing every day? Because the little things matter, right?
Oh yeah. It's all about the little things, right?
And when I talk about health, I want to be very clear about a balanced life. And that means mental health. That means physical health. So every day, what are you doing to make your mind stronger and your body stronger? What are you doing? And sometimes we can't just jump into that. Sometimes we need help. Sometimes we need to find a resource, find a therapist, and determine what it is that we need to heal from, or what it is that we need to figure out what needs to be done in those goals to get us to that next direction. So I really love that you brought that up, because that's going to be a definite strong episode. As today, our first kickoff, we don't really have a show theme for today. It's just generally talking about who we are and how we want to help help you guys. And, as you get along to getting to know us, follow our individual pages. I'm at ladybug_living_life_coach. And
boy, that's not annoying.
I know,
to say.
____. And then Rob, he'll go ahead and give you his individual page.
Are you trying to say you don't know it?
Of course I do. Gerard counseling ____. I had to see his face.
So at Gerard Counseling.
At Gerard Counseling.
And then we also have When Coffee Meets Tea podcast, which is
absolutely.
on Instagram. And everything you're saying definitely hits the nail right on the head. I know as far as like 2021 plans for me, I don't have any of these, like you're saying, I don't have any of these monster bucket list things. I mean, I have my bucket list things like retirement, wanting to build a retirement home, like all these like luxury bucket list
I
problems.
love that you said that. Can I just jump in really quick? And I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just want to talk about, as you're saying.
So what I was saying was.
So women in finance, right?
Yeah.
That's a huge
And you and I have talked about finance before, right?
I am so happy. Yes, because as you spoke earlier about wanting to help men with their emotional well-being and understanding their feelings, I want women to understand independence and finances. And I am not by any means a hardcore you have to be this way and independence. No, my life just led me to independence. I will tell you, I actually in high school was voted first to get married, and I wanted to have like 8 kids. And my
first
life,
to get divorced.
Actually, no, that's not true. Actually, that is not true at all. But it's interesting because I look and I'm like, wow, my life just, I stumbled upon it. And here's the thing, I never fought it. And this is what I want both men and women to do. Don't fight the journey, because the more you fight it, the more you suffer.
That's quote of the day, by the way. You said, my life, I just stumbled upon it.
I did. I stumbled upon it. And
I don't even know what
it.
that means, but I love it. It sounds really deep. I'm about to throw that in an email.
Yeah.
--unknown. Well, --Denise. Life. I just stumbled upon it.
I did. It did. But sometimes that's the best way. And I can't look back and say, oh, I wish this and what if that, and oh, I wish I had 8 kids and da-da-da. No, I've had so many blessings and so many opportunities and so many good things.
Yeah.
And bad things too. But hey, what are you going to do? Bad things happen. So I definitely want you guys to follow the page, at When Coffee Meets Tea, because this is where you're going to see a lot of both our tips and, I guess, concepts in life. Rob does some great videos on tips about therapy and mental health, and I'll have some great videos on life coaching and just, positivity. So
Definitely.
I think it's going to be something that you guys are going to really enjoy. And, just this last thought before I get some of your thoughts too, Rob, is the show. And this whole, how we say we are going to talk about mental health, life obstacles. Again, we are not your cookie cutter show. We are modern. We are upbeat. We're a little chill today, a little mellow. But at the end of the day, we are going to talk about everything. We are not stereotypical. I don't want to brand us just as mental health and wellness, because we are life driven.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know if you want to add to that, Rob, but we are life driven. Life is good. Life is bad. Life is everything. Life is what you make it, but there's so much more.
Yeah, and I appreciate you sharing that, because it's everything that you say always, it's like I have something in mind I want to say, and then you say something and it just takes me in a totally different direction, and I think when it comes to wellness, everything's encompassed in wellness, right? Because I look at wellness as like a pizza pie, right? And or a salad. We'll go with the salad. I look at wellness as a salad, and if you just had a salad with iceberg lettuce, that's a whack salad. I don't want that salad. I'm going to send that salad back. You know what I mean?
That's a 99-cent salad.
Yeah, I don't want that salad. I want a salad that has a lot of ingredients. I want cucumbers, tomatoes, carrots, dressing, cheese, bacon, maybe some grilled chicken, avocado, maybe a boiled egg. You know what I mean? So I need a salad that has a lot of ingredients that's really going to get me going.
Love it.
And when it comes to like life and balance, like that's what wellness is. I need to have family, friends, work, a hobby, things I do giving back to the community, just a number of things. If my life is just work or my life is just family, that's a pretty bland life. That's a pretty
That's
bland
right.
salad.
That's
so
right.
I need to have a lot of ingredients in there to really mix things up.
That's right. What is the variety of life, right? It's
Absolutely.
the variety of life. And you know what? Like Forrest Gump says, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Oh, I see his eyes. Yeah, I'm
Listen,
really bad at that. But it's
First,
okay.
first official episode, and she's already quoting Forrest Gump.
And you know what? I think I should be running out
This
of here.
plane is going down. This plane is going down. Oh man. All right, guys. So with that being said, I think this was a great first episode. I'm super excited about this, and I think we're going to be looking at really trying to release, a new episode, once or twice a month. We're going to kind of feel things out and see where things go, and definitely contact us. Hit up our Instagram, or like she said, our individual pages, and shoot us questions, because we're already getting questions from listeners. You never know, your question might make the show, and it all depends on where we go with each episode, but I'm really excited about it. And
I am so excited,
Yeah.
and it's, one thing I want also, we had spoken about this in a couple of different meetings, but at the end of the day, the substance of life is this: when you believe in yourself, the impossible is never impossible. So we are here to help you, guide you, inspire you to believe in yourself and have that faith, not by telling you what to do, not by telling you how to live, but by showing you, by telling you experiences, whether it be us or different people, of how people overcome life, right?
Yeah.
And those resources are everywhere, yes, but I'm hoping that you will really just fall in love with this podcast, but most important, Rob and I want you to really just fall in love with yourself, right? Because that's the priority, is loving yourself so that you can love and live life to the fullest.
Yeah. Very well said. Very well said. And before we wrap up, I just wanted to let everyone know what I'm drinking. Sponsored by Candlewood Coffee out of Brookfield, Connecticut, a local company. I have my own coffee blend that I've kind of come up with in partnership with Candlewood Coffee, and it's called Robbie's Roast. And Denise is drinking on some
Denise's Upbeat Positivity.
So if you're a tea drinker, if you're a coffee drinker, when coffee meets tea, we have you covered. And these things are for sale on the website. You could either, I think, go to Candlewood, or you can go to our website or our Instagram, all that stuff, and it is available for sale and shipping. So that's pretty cool. I feel
I have
good
a
about
nice
it.
American English breakfast blend.
Yeah,
So,
mine's a medium blend with some mocha flavoring. So it's
yes, thank you very much to Candlewood Coffee.
Yep.
Check out their website, and just a great overall company.
yeah,
It's
definitely.
always good to have healthy little beverages in the morning,
And I mean,
or any time of the day.
it just really goes with the show, so I'm definitely happy about that. So I guess if you want to reach out to us, you know how to find us. And with that being said, I'm Rob Gerard.
I'm Denise Pertalvitz.
All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. Have a good one.
Ciao.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. You can check out other episodes of our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever else podcasts are streamed. Find us on Instagram at When Coffee Meets Tea Podcast or www.whencoffeemeetstea.com. Rob and Denise want to thank the listeners.